to play, this is incredible to me, your 300th game. Would that guy growing up in San Mateo, exactly, watching Joe Montana and Steve Young think that this was possible? I mean, this is even a milestone for you. I know you've had a lot in your career.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Just I don't get caught up too much in statistics and those types of things, but football has just been a very important part of my life for a long time, 30 years. And I love the ability to go out there and compete with my teammates, compete for our fans. And, I love the game. I love the nuances of the game. I love the relationships I built, all the memories I've had. And I'm very blessed to be 43 years old and still doing it. And it's definitely, it's definitely a challenge for me still. There's physical challenges, there's mental challenges, there's emotional challenges. And I just love doing it. So it's pretty cool that I'm still able to do it and still have a team that's supportive of me being out there. And I want to go out there and do the best I can for them.
We'll go over to Jenna Lane.
Tom, as much as I want to ask about the 300 games, I, like many others, were on Twitter last night, and it seemed like maybe your feathers were ruffled a little bit over that 6th ranking by Coach Dungy. Did you slide in his DMs and hash this out a little bit? Take us through that.
I was just having fun. I was only referring to him as the Indy head coach, not as the Bucs head coach. So it was nothing personal. Coach Dungy knows I love him. I was just giving him a little grief. He gave me a little grief. I give him a little grief. It was all in good fun.
All right, we'll go over to Greg Allman.
Hey, Tom, I know given your career, I know you're measuring the success of a season and what you do after the regular season. But I just want to ask you personally, I know that probably wanted the team to win more games than they have. But with 2 games left in the regular season, I just want to ask you personally how you think this season has gone for you compared to your expectations for what you could do this year individually.
Well, I think the season will be what we make of it. And, our season's not over yet. So we got a lot of football ahead. We got obviously a hugely important game this week and then one more game in the regular season. And we're going to have to play our way into the playoffs. So it means we got to win games. And, this is the one that matters the most because it's the next one. And if we make it, we do get in. So it's hugely important. And every season presents some different challenges. Every season has, different things that challenge you in different ways. This one has been a challenge, I think, for everybody around the world. And, we're managing with it. We're managing it. We're dealing with it as best we can. And I think we're trying to make improvements, trying to make them on a daily basis. And, I'm very excited about, this weekend's game and seeing what we do on the day after Christmas.
All right, we're going to go over to Scott Reynolds.
Hey, Tom, Merry Christmas. Thank you. You're a 14-time Pro Bowler. You had a fantastic season this year with the Bucs, going to 9-5 so far. With 2 more TD passes, you'll set the franchise record for the most in a season. And this is your first year in Tampa. I think you were snubbed for the Pro Bowl. My question to you is this: do you feel snubbed? And if so, do you use that as a motivational edge, or 21 years into this, you don't care about the Pro Bowl anymore?
Well, I think there's a lot of people who end up being, deserving a really cool accolade like that. And I've been very fortunate to be picked, a bunch of times. And I think it's really great for other guys to get picked too. And it's hard sometimes to pick just a few guys. And, this year there was a lot of great candidates at a lot of positions, at a lot of teammates that I wish they would have made it. And, it's just just got to keep trying to go out there and earn it. And I think ultimately for me, it's about winning games. And I think individual accolades have a certain place. The most important thing for me has always been winning football games. And, I wish we were 14-0 at this point. We're not. We haven't deserved it. We haven't played to that level yet. But hopefully we can play at a much higher level this Saturday.
We'll go over to Ira Kaufman.
Hey, Tom, in terms of the slow starts offensively over the last couple of months, 2 decades, Tom, 2 decades in your portfolio, I'm sure you've faced that kind of a challenge at times. And how'd you get over that, Tom, as an offense?
I think there's always things you're working on. Sometimes you're fast starters and slow finishers. Sometimes you're not good at the end of halves and slow to start the third quarter. I think we definitely have to be better to start the game. We're to spot a team 17 points, 14 points is not where we want to be. And I don't think there's a special play to call. There's nothing that's guaranteed to get us yards or first downs or points. It's about us all collectively bringing the right energy and emotion and execution to the early part of the game. And that'll put us all in a better position to succeed as we move forward in the game. So I'd like to see us play with the lead. And we're going to have to work hard at that. Like I said, there's no magic plays to those things. It's going to be up to us to just go out there and do it.
I'll go to Sarah Walsh.
Hey, Tom, I'm curious how this experience is a little bit different for you as opposed to New England, where year in and year out, you guys were going to the playoffs, and you guys have some folks that have been here for years and years and years and haven't had that experience that you've gotten. So as you are closing in on that, and Bruce talked about this being a hat and t-shirt game, how is it different for you being around these guys that are, on this quest to experience that for the first time?
Yeah, I want them. This is why we play, to put your team in a place and give yourself an opportunity to compete for a championship. And it takes a lot of work to get to that point. It's very hard to get to that point. The competition's tough. Week in and week out, you're playing against great teams, great coaches. Every team has strengths and weaknesses, and we put ourselves in a position where if we win, we're in the playoffs. So that's where we're at, and that's what we know what's ahead of us. We got to go out there and play well. We're playing against a very explosive team that's played very well at different times throughout the season. They've had leads. They haven't held on to all of them, but they played from ahead. They played from behind. They got a very good quarterback, great group of skill guys. They have a very tough scheme on defense. So we're going to have to go out there and play our best 60 minutes.
We have time for a few more. We're going to go to Steve Isbitz.
Tom, a little bit earlier, you mentioned emotional challenges of playing football. Can you give an example of what one of those might be this year with the Bucs?
Yeah, I think there's things that happen on the field. There's things that happen off the field. Emotionally, there's a lot of different emotions that go into playing. And sometimes after you lose, you could be very discouraged. You could lose confidence. Other players could lose confidence. You could be emotionally drained from winning games. You could deal with off-field issues. I had teammates that have gone through personal issues that, affect them a lot. I've had personal issues that affect me with my, different things that have happened in my life with family members and so forth over the last 4 or 5 months. So all of it is about being mentally tough, dealing with whatever you need to deal with in your life as a professional, and putting those things in a certain place so you can still go out and try to perform at a high level. And there's no 2 years that are the same. They're all a little bit different.
We're going to close out with a question from Carlos at the Detroit Free Press.
Hey, Tom, asking you to go back a ways, but 20 years ago, you made your NFL debut at the Silverdome against the Lions. Just wondering, what do you remember from that experience, and what did it do for you as a young quarterback to help you progress in your career and give you confidence moving forward?
Yeah, I was active for that game. It was Thanksgiving Day. We got our butts beat pretty bad by the Lions, and got in at the end of the game. I think I threw three passes, and it was just kind of a insignificant start to the career because I wouldn't say many people were expecting me ever to have the kind of career that I had. So for me, it was great being out on the field and learning. And then I got more opportunities as that season went on in practice, and put myself in a position that next off season to compete for the backup role, which I ended up winning. And then when Drew got hurt, I was able to become the starter, and I tried to play as well as I could. And I treated everything like it was very important. Year round, it was very important for me to compete against myself to see how good I could be. And I learned a lot of those lessons at Michigan. And Michigan was a great training ground for me because it wasn't, nothing was gifted. You know, I think you had to go out there and earn it. You had to earn the respect of your teammates and your coaches. And for me, that's what I had to do in order to play in college. So I didn't expect much difference when I went to the pros, and then got my opportunity, and always felt like if I got my opportunity, I was never going to look back. And still haven't really looked back that much, even 20 plus years later.